From Moses to John, 1,500 years apart, the place where God dwells is always the same shape, not metaphorically, architecturally.
We touched on this in episode 20, but today you're going deeper into Revelation 21 specifically.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 16. John is measuring the New Jerusalem, the eternal city, the dwelling of God with his people forever. And the angel measures it with a golden reed. The city is 12,000 furlongs on each side, and the length and the breadth and the height of it are equal, a perfect cube, 12,000 furlongs on every dimension. Now, 12,000 furlongs is approximately 1,400 miles. This is not a structure human engineering will build. This is the architecture of eternity. But the shape John records, is the same shape as the Holy of Holies in Solomon's temple, which was 20 cubits by 20 cubits by 20 cubits, and the same shape as the Holy of Holies in the tabernacle, which was 10 cubits by 10 cubits by 10 cubits.
3 different structures, 3 different scales, 3 different authors under God's inspiration: Moses, Solomon's builders, John. Same shape.
The tabernacle is the travel version. Solomon's temple is the permanent version. The New Jerusalem is the eternal version. Same author, same design language. The cube is not a coincidence of ancient architecture. It is the consistent signature of the one who inhabits it. And it is recorded in writing across 1,500 years of scripture, in the wilderness, in Jerusalem, and in eternity, by men who never met each other and who wrote under radically different historical circumstances. The design coherence cannot be explained by human coordination. There was no conference. There was no architectural guild connecting Moses to Solomon to John. There was one author.
I want to talk about the number 12,000 for a moment, because 12 is all over the New Jerusalem. 12 gates, 12 foundations, 12,000 furlongs. Why 12?
12 is the number of government in Scripture. 12 tribes of Israel, 12 apostles, 12 months, 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night. The number 12 structures the systems by which God orders his people and his creation. And when John sees the eternal city, it is 12,000 furlongs, 12 multiplied by 1,000. 1,000 is 10 cubed, 10 to the third power. The number of divine completion raised to the power of 3 dimensions. The eternal city is built from the numeric DNA of the entire biblical narrative. Every structural number in Revelation 21 echoes through the 66 books that preceded. This is not John inventing religious imagery. This is John seeing the fulfillment of a mathematical framework that was established before the first stone of the tabernacle was cut.
And the 12 gates, one for each tribe of Israel.
And the 12 foundations, one for each apostle. Old Covenant and New Covenant, both structures inscribed into the eternal city's foundations, both covenants honored, both counted, both sealed in the geometry of the place where God will dwell with his people. And the shape of that dwelling, a perfect cube, is the answer to the question that every human heart has asked since Eden: where is God? He is in the perfect place, the place with no greater dimension and no lesser dimension, the place of complete symmetry, the place where nothing is out of proportion. And he built the model in the wilderness so you would recognize the real thing when John described it.
Stephen is a structural engineer. He builds things that have to stand up. Welcome to the Sealed Word, Stephen.
Thank you, Marcus. I want to bring something to your listeners that they might not hear from a theologian. When you are a structural engineer and someone gives you a specification, dimensions, materials, loads, your first question is, does this design have integrity? Does it hold together under load? Does the structure know what it is doing?
And when you analyze the New Jerusalem specifications in Revelation 21?
What strikes me first as an engineer is the simplicity. A perfect cube at that scale is actually the most stable 3-dimensional form. Every face bears equal load. No dimension is structurally privileged over any other. If you were designing a structure to last forever, to never require repair, to never have a weak axis, to distribute all forces equally, a perfect cube is the correct engineering answer. John is not describing a fantastical shape that makes no structural sense. He is describing the most structurally sound form that exists.
And God specified it for his dwelling place from the first tent in the wilderness.
That is what I keep coming back to. Moses is in a desert with a nomadic people. He has no engineering school, no structural analysis software, no load calculations. And God gives him the dimensions for a portable sanctuary with a Holy of Holies that is a perfect cube. the same form that modern structural engineering would specify for a permanent structure meant to endure. The engineering is not primitive, the engineering is perfect, and it is consistent across 1,500 years of specifications given to men who had no communication with each other. I don't know how to explain that without using the word author, one design language, one shape, from the desert to eternity.
One shape, from the desert to eternity. Marcus, how does a listener take this and do something with it today?
Read Exodus 26, the tabernacle, Holy of Holies. Read 1 Kings 6, verse 20, Solomon's Holy of Holies. Read Revelation 21, verse 16, the New Jerusalem. Look at the shape each time. Draw it if you need to. A cube, 3 times, 1,500 years apart, 3 men who never met. And then ask yourself, who told them all to build the same shape, and what does it mean that the shape of God's eternal dwelling is the most structurally perfect form that exists? And then consider, if God was that precise about the shape of the building, how precise was he about the words in the book that describes it? GraceNotesMinistries.com/KJV-Numerics. The architecture of Scripture is not decorative. It is structural, and it holds.